Alright, what the hell am I looking at? Come on, you cannot be serious. What the... Oh no. Alright, we need to talk about this. Come on, roll the intro. Remember that if you like the video, leave a like, a comment and subscribe to my channel because it would help me a lot. Having said that, let's get back to the video. Hello everyone, this is Wano and I wanted to talk about a topic that was long forgotten. It was a month ago, but I still wanted to talk about it because it really boiled my blood when I actually watched it. Because I thought, hey, this must be some sort of prank, this cannot be real. And that is the Dove commercial for representation in gaming. And if I were honest, there's not much I can say that hasn't been said before, except for a couple of things, and I'm gonna tell you why if you stick around. So the basic premise is that this commercial shows how a huge percentage of female gamers do not feel represented in gaming, and then proceeds to show what they consider a realistic depiction of a woman in a video game. So for you, Dove, company that does shampoo, not video games, let me tell you something. Women can come in many shapes, sizes, hair color, skin color and everything. And the other thing that I want to tell you is that we don't get to tell you how to make shampoos or hair products. You don't tell gamers how to feel or what's right when it comes to gaming. For you see, gamers do not play games because they want to feel represented. They play games because they are looking for some sort of escapism from life. And that happens with books, that happens with video games, that happens with movies, TV shows, or even something as simple as going out and touching some grass. Yeah, I pretty much said everything that has been said so far, but there's something else that I wanted to talk about, and that is the tendency of certain companies trying to appeal a younger audience with these sort of stupid messages regarding equality, representation, diversity and yada yada yada. I'm gonna tell you something. That number that you said, that 74 or 76, I just refused to actually watch it again, of gamers not feeling represented, I'm gonna raise the bar a little bit. 99% of gamers all over the world, regardless of gender, do not feel represented in video games. You know why? Because we don't care. Yeah, we said it. We don't relate to appearances. We relate to the stories. If we want to relate to appearances, guess what gamers do? Cosplay. Easy as that. Alright? And yeah, I said 99%, not 100%, because there is a 1% of the population that actually says, hey, that person looks just like me. And you know what name do they receive? Delusionals. That's the name they get. So, I've already made a video regarding why video game companies are so greedy and an explanation for that if you actually want to watch it. Spoiler alert, it's really long, it's boring and it has absolutely no jokes whatsoever. But it's a good insight when it comes to the marketing and such. However, what I want to talk about is this idea of representation that it's being sold to the customers when it comes to gaming from a hair product company. Well, in their defense, they are actually making a partnership with Unreal Engine 5, so that means they are making realistic hair follicles. I don't give a shit, I don't want to watch that commercial again. Who the fuck watches Dove commercials for entertainment? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of companies are getting too comfortable trying to relate to these audiences through the fake messages of, oh, we actually care about you. We are all about diversity. We are all about showing who real people are. I wonder where I heard that from. But here's the thing, and this is something that actually popped inside of my head and I thought to myself, hey, this is actually genius. These companies are not selling you diversity. They are not selling you representation. They are selling you psychological fan service. That's right. Have you ever noticed how it's always trying to relate to a very loud minority who is always complaining about video games and doesn't really care about this for the media? Of course, there's always the discussion regarding companies making the most attractive characters for video games. However, do you think that people actually hate their video games for that? Do you think that gamers hated Final Fantasy 15 because of how good looking the characters were? No, people were like, meh, because that game was in development hell for billions of years, and when it finally launched, it was a meh kind of product. But do you think that people actually hated the way the characters looked? Of course, there was a small minority on Twitter yelling about how revealing, how much fan service there was and that kind of stuff. But guess what? The majority of gamers simply didn't care, because they were more focused on the other aspects of the game that turned out to be sort of mediocre at best. And keep in mind that I'm talking about a video game that had mostly male characters as protagonists of this story. And it's rather interesting because the Final Fantasy fandom prefers mostly the female characters because of the development and the stories throughout the games. And do you think that the fandom actually feels offended because they don't feel represented because of the way the characters look? Seriously, get a grasp of reality. I truly don't think that companies know what video games are and what the target audience is. You see, I am showing you right now some clips of my streaming session where I'm playing Nier Automata, a game that it's been highly criticized for having a female protagonist with very revealing clothing. Want me to change it? Okay, here it goes. This is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, one of my favorite games. What's the main topic of the game? It's mental health. A great representation because it shows the horrible reality of a woman in a game where she has to face her inner demons because of her psychosis. Alright? This game that has been overlooked by a majority of people that looks absolutely phenomenal, and the sound design is perfect in every sense, at least in my opinion, is doing a much better representation of a minority that it's been overlooked. But now, let's leave it to Dove to make representation in games more efficient, to make it more realistic. And after a careful analysis, you now realize how Amazon Prime got the inspiration for all the marketing parodies in the TV show The Boys.
Raising Maeve's consciousness and revealing her own inner truth.
She's gay. And it's okay. It's
Powerful. She's more than just a superhero now. She is a symbol. Representation matters.
she's #Brave Maeve.
And if you even had good intentions for the commercial to begin with, this is something that I need to ask you as well. Do you actually think that gamers, the majority of female gamers, are actually plus-sized and actually feel misrepresented? Have you even talked to a female gamer? Because I'm gonna tell you a small little secret that is going to shock you. And let me tell you that I'm no expert on the matter. It's just a matter of going out and meeting them in real life. Female gamers are regular people. Yeah, they come in every shape, any size, and guess what? They don't give a shit about Dove. What they actually care about is for a game to be released, to be good, to go home and play it, whether it is World of Warcraft, Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Rocket League, or even a session of Doom if they want to. Because guess what? They are not that different. They are just regular people who play video games, who also happen to be women. It's not that difficult to understand. Stop trying to appeal to a very loud minority who want to be self-inserted in every single media they find. Of course, it's good to have diversity because diversity is what gives us interesting characters with great development. But every time you try to appeal to a certain audience by launching campaigns such as this one, it doesn't show any sign of diversity from your end, but rather a cash grab, motivated mostly by the insecurities of a very loud minority who are not even being sold diversity or inclusion. They are being sold psychological fan service. And you know what the funny part of all of this is? If you actually made this commercial just showing this character, this same character that you made, but instead promoted some sort of campaign saying that you are actually helping Unreal Engine develop more realistic follicles, like I said at the beginning of the video, nobody would have given a shit about it. And maybe that's your objective, to have people triggered and then to hang onto that idea saying, oh, gamers are actually racist, gamers are actually fatphobic, gamers are this and gamers are that. No, let me tell you what gamers are. Fed up with your shit. That's what they are. Anyway, those are my entire thoughts. I ranted for a bit. I know that it didn't lead anywhere, but I wanted to get my thoughts out. This is Wano, and thank you for watching. So, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's also a little secret. I really need to take a shit.